it opens up the jungle for them. Even though she was not farming that part of the map, just pressuring the other part, Phonic had an extremely good game. Itemization was perfect, going for that Spirit Vessel against that Prophet. They didn't have the real frontliner. That's the problem. Like, you have Earth Spirit, you have a sustain coming on from Chen and his mech. But Nature's Prophet, your offlaner, Faceless Void, if he doesn't have the Chronosphere, you still can't take the fight. And that Roche attempt, it was okay. Maybe they could have done it a bit earlier. It just didn't work out for them. I mean, they tried something. I think they're going to stay away from Faceless Void. I really don't. It's a lower tier hero right now.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. Like the way Hellraisers were able to basically abuse the map, right? Pangolier with Swashbuckle and Rolling Thunder being able to jump across the entire map pretty much, being set up by the disruptions of the Shadow Demon. Broodmother was pinging between lanes, able to create loads of space for Morphling to sit back in the kind of safe pocket of farm that they made for themselves. And Miposhka, he was feeding away a few deaths here and there, but every team fight started with him getting all of his spells off and then dying, so his cores could actually come out and win in the end. But that's game one. That's all done and dusted. We have game two draft ready for you as Broodmother is first banned by Alliance. Respect where respect is due.
They don't want to get cheesed. I mean, a lot of that game was on Broodmother, but if it was a different kind of a hero that's still like some tempo controlling one that can make a lot of space, I still feel the outcome would have been the same.
Yeah, it does feel that way. There's Dragonite, Phoenix, Weaver, and Ember Spirit all joining in there. Game one, we saw what I feel like a lot of core heroes being banned. Queen of Pain, PL, DK, Phoenix, Riki, Ember, Void Spirit, and Weaver. So a lot of supports were left through into the pool. But with the Brood coming in now, opening up potentially a couple of these heroes to slip into the mix. But Queen of Pain continuing to be a first phase ban from Hellraisers.
The only support hero here is Phoenix. I mean, you can play Weaver as position 4/5. Both of these teams, once again, not banning any supports. Alliance, they have first pick, so they might steal Pangolier if he's still left in the pool. I rate Pangolier very highly at the moment. Like what he does from position 4 or the off lane, you always have that stun superior team fight coming out from him, and he's the hero that scales. Like, his passive is just that good. The slow, mostly it's about the disarm.
And the fact, like, Phonic going, like, what did he have? He had Raindrops, Spirit Vessel. He didn't have Boots. Then he goes back into Greaves. But having that early active teamfight item, super good on that Pangolier from the early point. Riki out again. So once more we're faced with, Shadow Demon, Grimstroke, Chen, Enchantress, Earthshaker, all these big heroes that are being prioritized in their first phase, still available for both of these teams. I think Hellraiser's pretty happy to let Death Prophet through again, it feels like. Even if they won't have the Broodmother. Taking a little longer on this ban.
Pretty much the same bans from Alliance. They banned out Riki, Ember, Beaver is gone. And they ban out Death Prophet. No Broodmother means no Death Prophet. So Alliance is going to be the one who's opening up with Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is just great overall hero. Having a built-in save, having pure damage coming out from him, great laner. And you don't know where he's going to go, whether it's position 4 or 5. Sometimes we even see position 3. It's very rare, but it's doable. It's not super. But bring back Thompson. I want to see some mid Shadow Demon.
Man, the first time I saw that was CTY. I think he was playing for eHome back then. Mid Shadow Demon. That takes me back. I miss CTY. I miss a lot of these Chinese players that have kind of retired. Void Spirit, Grimstroke coming out for Hellraisers. They've got themselves a nice flexible pick in that Void Spirit, and then Miposhka Grimstroke opens up their draft for all of those single target abilities, but you don't necessarily need to go that direction. You do still have the threat of heroes like Lycan out there, Luna, and Enchantress as those pushing heroes.
If you get the Enchantress, just to mess up with the Grimstroke in the laning stage, dispel the Inkswell. You can also dispel Void Spirit Shield later on. Then you need something lower cooldown on the off lane. Something that, I mean, some low cooldown abilities, guaranteed stun. You can't just open up with Shadow Demon Enchantress and say, yeah, what up, we're gonna have a fight. Very hard to rotate with these heroes.
Yeah, they're good at setting up or kind of transitioning into towers, but not the best all-rounder teamfight heroes for sure. Where is this techies, Lacoste? You've been selling me on the FNG techies for the past 3 days, and I still haven't seen it.
I watched the replay. He did okay. I don't think he's like a top tier techies, like compared to what Zayats is doing. Maybe it's just not enough games. Maybe he knows what he's doing. I'm also not a techies expert. I'm actually a techies hater, so hard for me to judge, and be objective about techies in general. But they're not going to go for it. So it's Jakiro and Shadow Demon. I believe FNG will be playing Jakiro here. Jakiro is very good at setting things up on Void Spirit. Like if you know where he's gonna blink on the simulate, you can make some PogChamp plays.
Yeah, especially when you've got an SD on your team. Disruption into Ice Path, we saw OG do very well with that in the previous series. The save potential from Shadow Demon. And also the ability for Jakiro to actually help pushing towers with Liquid Fire. Definitely can't be understated. Both of these heroes very oppressive in lanes with their damage over time too. Shadow Poison and Dual Breath. Great at chipping down heroes little by little. Kind of difficult for Hellraisers to pick a ban here as well. You're showing your two supports.
They still decided to ban out Faceless Void, even after the last game. I mean, it's a different setup. They have Shadow Demon to take care of Faceless Void. You have a ton of damage coming out from Jakiro, like 2 great zoning damaging spells.
And you're picking Morphling. It feels like a lot of these teams feel Faceless Void is that counter pick to the Morphling almost. But yeah, the fact that Alliance have SD this time and it's not on the opposing side, definitely a much more worthy ban.
You need a Spirit Vessel carrier against a Morphling or any kind of burst damage. And I'm not talking about Lina. I know it's one of Lim's better heroes, but it just doesn't feel that good. Like, I would say lower mid-tier hero at the moment.
Have we seen S4 play Pango?
Not that I recall.
He's played, Beastmaster, Legion, Dragon Knight.
Yeah, this might be a classic Centaur game, paired up with the Shadow Demon, and you can run away from the Grimstroke, close the gap, either find him, or, just use Stampede and run away when he uses ulti.
And yet again, Alliance dipping deep into that reserve time, going for a very early TA pick for Limp. TA, Jakiro, Shadow Demon, a lot of tempo for them. Very reliant on her Deso blink timing, that's for sure.
A lot of tower pressure coming out from these two heroes. There's still Pango in the pool for Hellraisers if they want to go that route.
I mean, we're still thinking Void Spirit could be a Roger hero here as well as, Funnick or, Kasani.
2, 3, 4, that's the roles for Void Spirit.
So not giving anything away massively until here. Decent amount of damage from Morphling into Soulbind with those adaptive strikes.
Very limited on the overtime damage, the burn through refraction. If you say Gary, I swear to God, I'm booking myself a ticket to Berlin.
Come on, give me Batrider then. Where's Batrider? Razor for Hellraisers.
Hellraiser.
As an early BKB purchaser, it kind of matches up against the TA timing quite nicely. Very good at grouping up with 3 other heroes, allowing Morphling that space to farm. What's the laning matchup, Razor against TA like? It's pretty even, right?
They might put Void Spirit on the mid lane.
Well, there is your S4 hero, finally comes out. Fair amount of catch here. And still more tower pressure from that Necrobook from Beastmaster. Good Roshan taking for this dire side of Alliance. Doesn't feel like HR have the best ways of contesting Rosh here. Void Spirit Morphling, they can jump in and jump out, try some sneaky plays, but their team fight, in those choke points and AoE areas, it seems a little bit lacking.
Good Slark ban. Phantom Lancers already banned out by Alliance. These 2 heroes would feel very good for Alliance at the moment. Morphling doesn't like to play into any illusion-based heroes or mana burn. There's going to be a book coming out from Beastmaster. I mean, you might get Naga Siren. I think that's a decent option for Alliance.
Yeah, like all the other conventional heroes for Nico Baby, your Juggernaut, your Troll, it all feels pretty rough into that Razor. They ban the Bat Lacoste. They get rid of the Bat Rider. It's gone.
That doesn't reveal anything. It's a great overtime damage against the Temporal Assassin, but still they don't know which role he would go for. Void Spirit is very flexible. Same goes for Bat Rider.
What about Luna for Alliance? Luna with a Hurricane Pike, good against Razor. You've got that tempo with Beastmaster TA because Helmet of the Dominator Luna gets online quickly.
It's doable.
And all of a sudden you're playing really fast with just the TA timing that you're waiting for. Beastmaster's going to get his Necro by 10 minutes at the latest kind of deal. But a Wraith King for Alliance.
Okay, this looks like a solid lineup. There's no... okay, how can you adjust to have mana burn against... You might get... you could do... Quaswax Invoker, not that great against Templar Assassin.
Nyx is a dead hero. You can't slot like a Necrobook purchaser here, can you? Enigma up against Beastmaster Jakiro. Shadow Demon feels pretty rough.
Doesn't feel that great.
Lycan you can't fit in really because you've got Razor Morphling as your 1 and 2.
It could be an off-lane Razor, Morphling safe. I mean, they could swap things around a bit if they want to adjust and try to get something with the mana burn. Otherwise, it feels very bad for your team if you can't burn Wraith King's mana. That means that it's a guaranteed mana burn. I mean, it's a guaranteed reincarnation. 5 seconds, the moment of truth. Let's see.
Timbersaw. Your last hero for Hellraisers is going to be the Timber for Funnick, it looks like. It will be a Roger position 4 Void Spirit. Timbersaw going to have to be your space creator along with that Razor. Try and stop the push from Alliance. And Funnick's going to have 2 potential lanes that he can go into here, right?
Should be a good lane if he decides to go either bottom or top.
Do they aggro try?
They could, and just leave Timbersaw in the 1 versus 1 matchup. That's the beauty of this hero.
Yeah. Like Razor, Grimstroke, and Void Spirit up against that Wraith King trial. And yes, you've got Shadow Demon Jakiro with tons of stuns.
I know, you put Razor mid.
You definitely put the Razor mid against TA? Yeah, true. I guess then it feels a little less good if you've got the Morphling in that tri lane. We'll see what they get up to. Game 2, Hellraisers up against Alliance. We've got our drafts all ready and underway. That Limp TA set, I'm not too sure about.
Yeah, that looks unfinished.
The Razor set, on the other hand,
You would think that Limp, as such a great TA player, would invest more money into Templar Assassin set, but okay.
Maybe he just likes it. Maybe that's his taste. Which way are you leaning, Lacoste? Hellraisers or Alliance?
No mana burn for Wraith King, as already mentioned, and they can play extremely fast. So if this Timbersaw doesn't pop off, I'm leaning towards Alliance.
Away we go. Nyx with all the relics. So Xani Morphling game 1, Nyx Morphling game 2. As they do shift these heroes around game to game. FNG on that Jakiro. Plenty of work to do this game. With a lot of setups for his Ice Path. And a lot of low cooldown abilities for Alliance. They can keep these fights going pretty much perpetually. So Phonic Timbersaw heading up to top. Nyx is wandering up there as well. Looks like Hellraiser's not quite sure where they want to set up their lanes just yet.
You see this, you see? Oh, what I always wanted. Oh, I'm so happy.
Of course, it's Phonic. One of the funnier chat lines. Nico Baby Wraith King, FNG Jakiro are going to spot out the Timbersaw as he breaks his way up the staircase and then immediately runs away. Bravely running away from Nico Baby. Grimstroke from Miposhka going to join him.
Wraith Kings these days don't even get the point in stun until like level 4. So Timbersaw should be okay. I mean, he might get it just to stop his Timber Chain. We'll see if they decide to put Void Spirit on the top lane, maybe pull the creeps behind tier 1 tower. I see Roger with the boot, so that might be the case. Usually you don't buy Boots of Speed in position 4 Void Spirit. You get something else. Some stats, or you get Orb of Venom.
I'll see what his job is going to be. Bounty runes top for Hellraisers. And both of them down bottom there for the Beastmaster. S4. All ready with a boar out, ready with a hawk. As Hanskin, with an observer ward there in between the two towers, going to force the TP of Morphling and now Grimstroke down south.
Same thing happened in game number 1. Alliance try to zone them out. You need to be careful not to die. If you die, your lane is over. 60 seconds without a TP. I mean, you can't just really die with the Morphling, but you never know.
Mid lane, 0-2 for the Razor. Does take a few hits on his way out there. Didn't aggro the tower through the static link. But Limp does manage to now press forward a little bit. Courier for Hanskin bottom. He's not going to be able to snipe it out. He doesn't have the boots. It looks like a stun onto Phonic here with the dual breath of FNG. Going to be counteracted by the 6 stacks of reactive armor and now the salve coming through. Every single lane, this poking and prodding from both teams. Nyx and Miposhka taking a beating here from Hanskin's poison. Kasani and Limp both trading farm but also trading regen. And Roger for now, he's not going to be pulling any waves. I guess he's trying to get Phonic up to level 3. Second point in reactive armor makes all the difference. Ether Remnant. Roger stunned up though. Nico Baby with a Wraithfire Blast, but Boots on Void Spirit gets him out of there no problem.
If he can just tank up some damage, take away any aggression from Timbersaw, give him solo XP, that's his job.
You're going to salve and return straight back to lane. But yeah, give Phonic that first good early laning stage. And then probably try and rotate in towards mid as Miposhka bottom. 1 stack of poison. He's got 3 stacks of poison on him. Hanskin trying to look for the 4th. Gets it, and there's first blood. Hanskin was running low on mana there, but managed to pop the stick. Get a little bit more out of it.
Can you guess why Miposhka reminds me of Always Wanna Fly?
He always dies.
He had the very bad early game in the previous one. 0-3-0 or 0-4-0 at one point. But you know, if you're securing Moore's farm, then it's fine.
Yeah, they're not random deaths. There's always some greater goal behind it. Nyx, pretty low on that bot lane. Does have plenty of regen here, though. There's Miposhka trying to deal with S4 and his boars. Stroke of Fate doing a great job at that as he kills off the Hawk as well. A rotation into mid from Void Spirit. The damage drain 72 gained by Xani. And Limp walking forward here. Could get caught out by Roger. Level 2 Void Spirit hasn't taken his second spell just yet.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There's a close call between mid and bottom lane where this first blood's going to happen. Like, Timbersaw's been left alone top. He's pretty fine there in the 1v2.
He even has Orb of Venom. Great against like Wraith King in the lane. If you can zone out Jakiro, you might threaten a kill on him. You see at the bottom lane, whenever Beastmaster summons Hawk, if he's close, they are trying to just get a kill on him. And now Roger about to rotate to the bottom lane, still saving a point, has a haste.
And Hellraisers with a ton of stick charges here as well, through, you know, Shadow Poison and these summons from Beastmaster. So any of that Kill Threat Alliance thought they might have is being used against them. So Roger got scouted by Dar Observer on the left-hand side as he came into this mid lane. Gets himself a nice Observer Ward in the triangle, scouting out for where the TA should be heading to farm in the near future. But this Void Spirit hasn't really found a place to really call his own.
Just waiting for the Bounty Runes for now.
Razor making some pretty big stacks for himself to the left of that mid lane. Timbersaw going to grab one Bounty Rune as FNG steals the deeper one. 3 for Hellraisers as the chase towards Miposhka. 4 stacks of poison with a boar slowing him down. Grimstroke, very close to death, but again he's got the stick charges. And now the Void Spirit's rotation might actually pay off, but he's scouted out. Alliance know he's coming. Very close game across the board. Morphling and Wraith King both very evenly farmed. Timber and Beastmaster very similar. Razor and TA pretty close outside of Denies, I guess.
I feel bad for Roger. He knows that Timbersaw wants the solo XP on the top lane, can't really kill the mid laner. When he approaches the bottom lane, there's an Observer Ward, there's a Hawk. You can't really set things up. He's just in no man's land.
As FNG is being chased by Funnick, this might actually be a kill, you know? Hellraisers, they got themselves a nice little takedown on the Jakiro. The trouble being this catapult, not in the best position to do damage to the tier 1, but not a massive deal, as down towards the bottom rune spot. And Roger does grab the DD, Limp and Hansken. Not able to stop the Razor and Void Spirit from collapsing down on that bottom rune. And now also keeping Jakiro in here. Disruption very early on. Roger focusing Hansken and FNG. Well, he's come in to defend the tier 1 against the catapult, so he'll stop any additional damage being dealt.
A very passive game, only 2 kills, 7 minutes in. Now Timbersaw is level 6, has 900 gold saved up. It's a very, very good, like, hood into Heaven's Halberd game. Heaven's Halberd against Wraith King and Templar Assassin. It also amplifies the healing and regeneration on your hero.
Super good item picker that would be. S4 and Hansken farming jungle right now. Roger and Miposhka, they both see this happening under that Observer Ward. Moving in with the Void Spirit. S4 is salving. A very awkward little maneuver here, but Hellraiser's going to spot out Hansken. Inkswell with the Remnant. Gonna catch the Shadow Demon. TA Trap will try and slow down Roger. Still has the Dissimulate to dodge away, but S4 with the Boar Slow and Templar Assassin joining in the fray will take him down.
The only mystery.
It's a lot of time to kill position 4, who's only level 3. Xani's having a good time on the mid lane. 50 CS, 17 denies. About to hit level 8, while Templar Assassin just got level 7.
And then you have Funnick Timbersaw, level 7.5.
Come on,
Completely
you have
free
to
farming
use
top.
that. That's efficiency, that's gold.
Enemies pay.
He's got himself the Ironwood Tree on Timbersaw.
Trusty Shovel still ready. Sassive Foul, that's what we call it. Come on, man, you have to use that. That's
Come on,
like
Limp.
1 bounty rune plus 1 flask already.
Limpy, limpy, limp. Come on. Dig in the ground. Well, he's using it for the passive 100 HP. That's what he's doing. FNG trying to defend top as S4 gets cleared out bottom lane. Alliance for making that move with the Wraith King Shadow Demon, but don't get anything done.
Finally, he picks up a bounty rune with the shovel. Nico Baby doesn't have anything queued up yet. It's just a standard Wraith King build. You get Phase Boots, Gloves of Haste. It's not Hand of Midas. It's just for the extra farm efficiency. Very gold efficient item, cost efficient, and armlet. Yeah, so I'm liking it. Instead of going for like a Radiance build, you have Templar Assassin who naturally builds into Deso, and then you can get the Silver Edge at 1 point, break the Timbersaw, break Razor.
Limp's Ancient Stack's being contested a little bit here. Roger. Remnants up the Shadow Demon, but he's being slowed down by S4 as he closes that gap. Roger yet again going to be the sacrifice here. Try and open up the map as Morphling TP's top. Timbersaw coming down bottom lane to defend the tier 1 after taking the top dire one.
Nice switcheroo. Morphling goes top, and now Timbersaw is on the bottom lane. They don't have the answer for this Timbersaw yet. You mentioned
Can they
it.
get the outpost?
Ironwood Tree, that's the best item you can get. So you can always
Sure
have
is.
something to Timber Chain to.
Hanskin stunned up. There's the GG
GG.
tree for Funnick to jump in on top of him. Bounty rune from Imposhka as well.
Gold is a great
Very nicely executed. So Alliance, they get a kill here, they get a kill there. But they can't transition this into any real tower damage. Looking at all the tier 1s, they are pretty close to full HP.
Beastmaster needs to find a kill right now. There's Necro unit level 1 and the Roar. Like, who do you kill? Xani's very, very low, but he is running back.
Finishes off his drums. Nick's Morphling farming in that top left corner. Alliance knows where he is and they're smoking in towards him. They can't go for another Roger kill. 2 deaths on Roger. Doesn't really mind about that too much. Razor does show mid lane. Beastmaster thinking about this move. And they're going to go Miposhka. Start it off with a Roar. He's silenced up, but there come the Necro units. Razor still sticking around here as the Wraithfire Blast lands on the Grimstroke, and they are committing under this tier 1 for him. Demonic Purge and Soul Capture. Xani down to half HP. Alliance give up the chase for now, though. But that is a kill on Miposhka Grimstroke as Hanskin still sticking the poison onto Xani. 3 stacks up, not going to be enough. But the rest of the map belongs to HR. Top
Yeah,
and
once
bot lane.
again, a lot of time invested to just grab a kill on position 5, while Timbersaw's farming the bottom lane, Morphling having a free time on the top lane. They need to use Funnick to create pressure on the map. Now with the Hood, I don't think he dies. And thank God he's not building any, weird items. I'm gonna rush a Bloodstone.
He's going to tank himself up. I'd love to see it. You mentioned Hood into Halberd, and I think that's going to be a real nice item progression for him, as S4 getting jumped by Roger and Miposhka. Good combination of abilities. Silence into stun, and Nyx is there to claim some of that golden experience as well. And it is just HR. Every move they make is swift, decisive, and not only do they get a pick off, but they're getting pressure on the map. Tier 1 middle lane, dropping very quickly. While Templar Assassin still farming jungle. All these little bits of efficiency that Hellraisers are finding as the Ice Path misses out mid lane. They do slow Xani with the Demonic Purge, but Nico Baby held in place by the Remnant as Miposhka. He's ready with a Soul Bind. What's the combination here? Because he's roared up. He can't get any more spells off. Saving Razor, yes, for now. Miposhka will fall, but the static link. Xani turns the fight. Down goes the Grimstroke. In comes the Nyx Ice Path. Jakiro mode, says Morphling. Focusing Nico Baby, but he has the reincarnation. Level 1 up if he wants it to pop. As they now move on to Roger, but assimilate away. FNG somehow gets away. So low on HP, they'll focus the Void Spirit, and 3 in a row for Alliance. Defending their tier 1 as Timbersaw, he's still full HP and mana, didn't really get too heavily involved in that fight.
No, he was not there at all. Alliance saw him TPing to the bottom lane to farm, and it was instantly, let's go. Like, they understand that the Timbersaw is the problem right now, and he needs to be with the team. If someone's gonna farm up, that should be Morphling instead of him. Like, right now, he's almost unkillable. Don't want to jinx him, but I see Heaven's Halberd queued up. That's what I like. Hood into Heaven's Halberd, the Disarm, great against Templar Assassin, and Wraith King on top of that.
All things considered, HR do still get that mid objective, but the timing is coming for Alliance now. Limp has Blink, doesn't go for the Deso Rush. Blink Dagger going to be very good here to get in and out of team fights with the help of Refraction. Armlet for the Wraith King with a couple of levels until that second point in Reincarnation. They're trying to group up bottom for the tier 1, but look at the way Funnick's moving. Straight down to bottom lane. S4 trying to scout out anyone making that move, and he has successfully blocked off the Timbersaw. There's always the trade-off though, Morphling farming top and a smoke from the rest of HR. Alliance going to try and break high ground here. Roger spots the Shadow Demon, moves in with the Inkswell, Soulbind, beautifully done. 2 supports obliterated, they cease to exist as Hellraisers come down with a swift hammer of justice.
Climbing uphill with no vision is a dangerous thing in Dota. Oh, Wraith
No
King,
reincarnation?
that's big kill. 3k gold lead for Hellraisers, and Nyx is the one who picks it up.
And now they can go for the tier 1 bottom lane. Timbersaw is ready to go tank everything up. Maybe he's going to go and tank up the kill on S4. Chakram, and another chain forward. He's unable to really stick on the target, as TA is causing problems on the other side of the map. Roger dissimulating away, as that Meld Strike took about half his HP. 7-7, but Hellraisers with that 4,000 net worth lead. Morphling getting very, very farmed. 8,000 net worth, leading the pack, and the counterpart in the Wraith King, 5.7k, and he's gone for this early game item build.
You don't go for Deso. Like, no way you get Deso, but what is Templar Assassin gonna go for? Like, this usually is the build on Wraith King, but, you know, your Templar Assassin benefits more from it. Double Deso. Galaxy Brain.
Miposhka silencing up a little skeleton on his way out.
By whose hand?
That does drag 3 Alliance members down into the bottom lane where there is no objective to claim. They need to start making plays into mid lane, it feels like. Take control of this Radiant jungle. Get onto the tier 1 mid. Maybe think about opening up Roshan. Xani getting found by Limp here. Does get off the static link. Limp is doing a significant amount of damage and finds the finish on the Razor top, while down in the Radiant jungle, Funnick, he's being chased by 3 of Alliance now. Stunned up, FNG has the Ice Path and the Roar to hold him in place for that reactive armor. Okay, the magic damage now finally comes. He pops the Soul Ring, disrupted up to stop the chain, and Timbersaw. He is held there. Ripped limb from limb, and it is happening, Timbersaw. It is happening. You die.
Alliance can
being
still
dropped.
take a fight, but that's fight without Nyx's Morphling. They just closed the gap, 2k gold less advantage for Hellraisers. If they get one more fight like that, when there's a Deso on their team with Inner Beast, they can easily take Roche, but the fight needs to be on the northern part of the map.
Razor working quickly onto that BKB. He wants to be able to match this early tempo from Alliance. Lots of tier 2 items dropping. Philosopher's Stone for the Radiant team. Pretty good there for the Grimstroke, who doesn't have anything just yet. Broom Handle for Morphling, Keen Optic for Razor, and that Ironwood Tree on the Timber. On Dire's side, we've got Pupil's Gift, Beastmaster, Dragon Scale Wraith King, and a nice little Grove Bow for the TA. Nobody wants the Vampire Fangs.
Wow. Can't believe it. Like Vampire Fangs and Enchanted
Trash tier.
Quiver are the worst items.
A bit now, but it feels like that's favoring Hellraisers in the way they want to ramp up this Morphling, get Timbersaw into that finished Halberd, and of course the BKB from Razor. These should all be coming, 20 odd minutes in. So Alliance, it's up to them to make these sweeping moves towards objectives. Still tier 1 mid and top both standing. They weren't really able to get any deep wards down in the Radiant jungle. The only vision they have is through this Hawk and that one observed ward down near the bottom rune spot.
Once they get BKB on Razor, it's going to be so much easier to fight. Even though there's 2 abilities that go through magic immunity, he still needs to be able to hold his ground and take care of himself because there's no save on their team.
So Blink now. Roshan, opportunity for Alliance. They just need a pick-off or 2, maybe a team fight. Wraith King frontlining. Scouts out a stack, but HR are there to take it. All grouped up as 5 around this mid-tier 1. Again, Hellraiser's very good, bringing the numbers they need. No need to spread the map too thin. So you know that Alliance are the ones that have to force this 5-man. That buys up the Spirit Vessel. He's not too far away from it.
Yeah, Timber will need to get himself a defensive item, something that can dispel. It's a bit too late to go for Yule Scepter, so Lotus Orb feels very good against Beastmaster. You can remove the Soul Catcher and remove that Spirit Vessel. Alliance, they want to run into Roche Pit, but Timbersaw is here. They'll gladly take that one-man Soul Catcher damage. Wow.
Say goodbye. Outpost is grabbed up by the Radiant team. So they should get the 1-for-1 across the map, unless FNG. Is that in time? No. Shared experience, as Timber dead for 30 seconds means Alliance into the pit. Vampiric Aura with the Deso.
They can buy back on Timber and take this fight.
Roshan down to half HP, they move forward to the plasma field and a great stroke of fate. Soul binding up the S4 Beastmaster. Raw catches Xani, but in comes the Void Spirit. Taking down the Beastmaster. Alliance being chased, hounded by the Morphling. Turns into TA, pops the refraction, but is disrupted up as Limp clears through Kasani's Razor. Finally they find FNG, the Jagiro down, and Timbersaw, they've isolated Wraith King. Reincarnation popped, and 3 heroes all up around him. Inkswell to stun, he's silenced up, nowhere to run, and a double kill for Nyx. They do find Roger all the way far east, but Roshan now is available for the Radiant.
Yeah, they got Phonic, but he had buyback there. Nicely executed fight. Beastmaster uses Roar. They're not on the same page.
Gonna blink in, Limp blinks in. The stun though, he's bashed by Roshan. Phoenix medicine
steals it.
Limp grabs the Aegis. They get the kill as well. The Dire team pick up Roshan. Oh, Limp baby.
The Hawk
Can they find a
giving
kill on
them
Nyx as
vision.
well? 4 stacks of poison, looking for 5 now as the Shadow Demon stacks it up. Timbersaw in all kinds of bother as Limp is unstoppable. Alliance in a losing situation there. They turn the tables, somehow finding that jump in at the perfect time, even with Limp being bashed by Roshan.
They needed to take this Roche for themselves. It's a huge setback. Like, taking this good of a fight and then allowing them to take the Aegis. They took it off, but still, it would be such a high advantage for them. Every single time you can take Aegis off team that has Ursa, that has Templar Assassin Lycan from them, it really cripples them.
Try and take down that mid tower.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Limp there with a refraction. Trying to scout with traps and poison. Spotting out Roger.
That's E-Blade completed. Now they have a great combination with Soulbind.
Well, they absolutely do. S4's Necro 3 coming into play to find that tier 1, but the Soulbind. Phantom's Embrace with the E-Blade catching the TA. Oh my god! This Morphling, you said it, beautiful combination. Now, did they have a stun to find Hanskin? No, he TP's home. But Beastmaster and Templar Assassin obliterated by Hellraisers, who potentially could have lost that, morale and momentum after that Roshan was sniped out by Alliance. But they come straight back into it. Full
I don't
strength.
think you could have asked for 2 better kills, like maybe Wraith King, but, he still has reincarnation. FNG has that Spirit Vessel, so that's gonna help out against the Morphling, against the Timber Saw.
Dire's middle tower is
Timber
under attack.
still trying to build that Heaven's Halberd. He's bringing something on the career. I don't see what it is.
Yeah, he was set back a little bit. His career is back in Fountain. That buyback. Can I set him back in his item progression? 7.8k net worth. He's still ahead of the Beastmaster, who has Necro 3 and looks like 3/4 of the gold saved up towards Blink. Lacoste, he has 3/4 of his Blink complete.
Nice. I love those terms.
But HR, strength in numbers, apes together. Start running at their opponents. Razor and Morph
Dire's top tower
up on
is
the
under
tier 2
attack.
top lane. Void Spirit swinging into mid. And Funnick wants to try and toy with Limp a little bit, but a quick blink away makes sure that he's safely out.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So Alliance trying the mirror move down on the bottom tier
Radiant's
2.
tower is under attack.
Ooh, a double damage rune bottom, top lane. Top lane, bottom lane, my brain isn't working, Lacoste. Top rune spot, double damage rune spotted by the TA, but your high ground is being broken now by Hellraisers. Nyx is there on your tier 3.
Radiant's
Banished by Hanskin. He's going to waveform away from this one. Oh, the Ice Path just not there in time. I was trying to wait for the Wraith King to get in for that continual chain stun.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's not that easy to send things up, with the disruption on the Ice Path. But mistakes were made so that they don't happen after. Another smoke from Hellraisers.
Yeah, they've got the halberd done on Funnick, so he's going to clear out top wave. The other 4 coming past the tier 2 mid. They see S4. They know that Alliance are probably up on this high ground now.
Radiant's bottom
They're breaking the high ground with Kasani. BKB straight off the mark. They'll roar him up, but the Inkswell's there. S4 taken down straight off the bat. They focus the Poshka with a Limp TA, but the Razor has the static link up and Funnick giving chase. BKB TP out from Limp gets him home, but the rest of Alliance are susceptible to getting blown up by the Morphling. Adaptive strike yet again, and the Nico Baby courier down. AC recipe, it's gone. So he doesn't have that item, and he doesn't have buyback. His reincarnation popped, but he makes his way back to the high ground, safely up the steps. But Alliance, another lost team fight, and likely going to be losing the control of the map now.
It was the same situation. If you compare what happened, Beastmaster dies first, like the offlaner, but he already used his toolkit. He relies on cooldown, no Primal Roar, no Necro Book. But we saw in the Roche fight where Timbersaw just instantly buys back. He does not care about not having it. So this is gonna be another tier 2 tower. Nyx is having such a free game on this Morphling. Next Roche may respawn in 3 minutes, so it's gonna take a while. Full BKB on him, so he can take care of himself twice. 2 defensive items, Manta Style and BKB.
So Hellraiser's just reset. Regen rune for Funnick, full mana yet again. Alliance, they are coming down bottom lane. They're expecting this push from Hellraisers to try and finish off the last outer towers. I do wonder though if this 5v5 team fight is what Alliance need. They want a smoke, they want some kind of sneaky play to find these pickoffs before the fight properly kicks off, because as soon as Miposhka, all he has to do is soulbind, and all of a sudden Morphling's getting 2 kills.
S4 is already out. Another smoke. They were saving these smokes for later stages of the game.
Funnick.
Funnick needs to build some stacks first. Otherwise, DA just melts him. Here he comes.
He's going to break down the trees. Chakram forward, Funnick stunned up, and there it is. Soulcatcher and down. You were right. No stacks, no life. Good Macropie, going to try and zone HR back. As they catch us full with a Remnant, and Nyx just annihilating once more these Alliance backline heroes. The machine gun Morphling nearly shreds through FNG, but he's got to try and run away now. Good ice path, but a better waveform as Nyx makes his escape. Stunned with the adaptive strike. And what's he got left? Amanda Stahl, 12-1 charges. He turns into TA, but the sentry ward there from the Dire team spots him as he melds, and they do get the Morphling kill.
That's pretty big, man. Funnick needs to be more careful about what he's doing. Like, you're playing Timbersaw, yes, you have Heaven's Halberd, but if one stun connects on you before you can get stacks, you're dead. Like, you have 2000 HP with 6 armor. All your armor is removed just by Deso. And I'm not talking about the meld minus 11 on top of that.
Minus 11. Nasty stuff. And Limp moving into Daedalus now, going just for raw damage. Assault Cuirass for Wraith King should be coming out on the courier now. He's got that recipe sitting on that courier, which died not too long ago. Jakiro behind the Wraith King, and a TP from Shadow Demon going to set Alliance up for a pretty nice grouping in the Radiant jungle. Funnick very delicately waiting for the creep wave to come in. Doesn't want to get caught and picked off here. Morphling dead for 20 seconds. He's still going to get backstabbed. Wraithfire Blast follows the Timber Chain. Macropire with the Ice Path, and there's the damage, nuking down Funnick. The Soulbind, though, he's going to get himself out. Somehow survives as Miposhka saves the day.
You have done the kingdom.
Like, Funnick had all the farm in the world early on, but Timbersaw got nerfed. Like, Strength Heroes got nerfed, one of the reasons why we don't see them that often on the offlane. Man, he wishes he didn't buy this Void Stone, that instead he bought the Plate Mail.
Yeah.
Razor also needs level 20. Extra 8 armor is pretty crucial. Like, you can see Razor, he melts. He goes in, like if he gets Primal Roar, they're just gonna focus him down.
Just from like a meld strike, TA takes him down to like half HP. Craggy coat there for the Razor. Oh, he's gonna send that over to someone else. Give that to the Timbersaw instead.
And that's a very good item on him. Like, you don't really rely on getting any attack speed, no right clicks, so Craggy coat, extra 12 armor.
Beautiful little grab. Roger with the telescope. Yeah, it does bring the gem out. The second halberd, one up for Razor now. These tier 3 neutral items, anything for Alliance, Quickening Charm, Orb of Destruction, and Enchanted Quiver. TA Enchanted Quiver, not too bad.
It's okay. Like, if you don't get the better items, Enchanted Quiver is fine.
Having the DD top.
Bonus damage.
King gets it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Razor with that BKB. Now Alliance going to be thinking, hey, can we smoke up and make a play somewhere? Go chase some heroes down. They don't have any smokes, and Morphling has pushed that top wave all the way in.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant
Still eyeing up this Roshan area, though, as the big man has respawned. Hellraisers feels like they're in a better position right now because Shadow Demon is all the way back in base.
Rush goes down so quickly, watch it. Meld, Deso, double damage, plus some crits.
Ether Remnant. Not going to do too much, but it, at the very least, forces Alliance back. Razor clearing out that mid-wave, and Hellraisers, they are in a position where they could smoke up and make this play, moving straight towards the high ground ramp. Oh, Hanskin, he's been scouted out, jumped upon by the ink swelling, and Astral stepping Void Spirit. Now Nico Baby's going to get focused down. Xani holding on to Static Link, waiting and biding his time for the second life of the Wraith King to pop back up. Nyx still holds the BKB and Manta Star, so Hellraiser's running straight through this fight, focusing Nico Baby, but they want the backstab onto the TA. Limp being chased by Xani and Nyx. He's popped his BKB, but where's the refraction? 10 seconds cooldown. He melds, but it's revealed.
They see him.
There's the TA down. No buyback for Limp now, as Alliance, a 4 versus 5 for them, and Roshan opens up for Hellraisers yet again.
No buyback on Templar Assassin. This should be a freebie one. 1, 2, 3 buybacks. 2 on Alliance's side. Only Roger bought back for Hellraisers. He's fine with that. 2 Heaven's Halberd really making Alliance's life hard.
It is so difficult for them to actually stick on a target and fight it, especially when the fight gets scattered like that. Alliance need to be grouped up together, really taking these battles head on. But Hellraisers are sending them, scattering to the wind. Leaves caught in a mild little breeze.
Lanes need to be pushed out for Hellraisers. There's still a tier 1 tower on the top lane, 32 minutes in.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's a sad state of affairs. Morphling showing top, though, does give Alliance a little bit of bravado here to make a play onto Funnick. They get the roar in the macroplier. He's down to half HP. Still alive, though, as they shred through him, but the turnaround,
on the ground.
Zani disrupted up. In comes Roger. Nice little 3-man resonant pulse. Catch anyone with an Ether Remnant? No, not quite, but they still take down Hanskin, FNG, and the chase onto S4. Stopped by the blink away. Beastmaster gets himself out with the Wraith King.
There's still
Simple
Gem
dead
on
for
the
50
ground.
seconds.
Funnick is pinging it. Guys, someone needs to pick it up. This is not a pub game. You need to step it up. Oh, Morphling is so farmed. He just hit level 25. Waveform attacks targets, 2 waveform charges. So that's, what, 600 AoE damage plus an attack.
It is huge.
And there's a Lotus Orb on Timbersaw. So now he's sitting at 28 armor without any stacks, which is pretty decent, even though they can lower it down to, what is it, Orbit Destruction -5, Meld -11, plus Deso 6, 5 plus 6 plus 11, 22, easy math, quick and easy.
Radiant's top tower.
21 to 21 kill score at 34 minutes. Hellraisers, 10,000 net worth lead though. And you look at some of these metrics, dead even in some regards. But the item progression, especially, you just mentioned on this Morphling, very, very quick off the mark. And Wraith King, where is he? 16k, not looking too bad. Finishes off his 10-second BKB. May allow him to stay alive a little bit longer in these fights because he's been struggling to deal with the Timbersaw, who jumps straight on top of that Wraith King every time he sees him.
Radiant.
Like he's doing now. Funnick doesn't have a way to cancel TP here. So Nico Baby, he's not TPing, he's blinking back. FNG getting taken down elsewhere on the map though. It looks like Morphling making short work of him.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And he's dead for 50 seconds. A window of opportunity here for
Radiant's
Hellraisers.
top tower is under attack.
Creep wave coming in mid, no
Radiant's
catapults.
top tower has fallen.
Still, the chance to go on to tier 3. Well, Lincoln's and Manta there used by Nyx. Aegis for 2 minutes. And a tier 2 bottom still yet to be claimed. Looks like that's what Hellraisers want to do. Push down bottom lane and try and get the bottom and mid lane kind of held and bunker back Alliance.
Olymp might start thinking about buying Divine Rapier. This is their way to come back into this game. He gets level 25. Now he has MKB queued up. I mean, if he wants to man up. Divine Rapier also has True Strike.
Yours up on the TA. BKB blink. Limp is out of there. Can Alliance find any stragglers on the way out? They know 2 heroes showed top, so they are straight away charging down into that bottom jungle area. They're starting to ping. S4 wants to make this play. Up on the high ground with the Necro units. Miposhka and Funnick scouted out, and there's the Roar. Grimstroke getting caught, nearly dead. Do they have any save? Ghost Scepter. Yeah, it does buy a little bit of time until the Wraith King is there with the Wraithfire Blast. Lotus Orb won't do a job. And a pick off for Alliance. Well, that wastes another minute of that Aegis time.
Olymp can buy full MKB if he wants to. I mean, Enchanted Quiver also gives him True Strike. There's 2 Heaven's Halberd, so there's a mischance from that. And the Morphling just finished his Butterfly. Aegis will be gone in 30 seconds.
Beastmaster and Hanskin both TPing out safely from bottom with a nice little disruption. Alliance doing a great job keeping the waves pushed out. That's the problem HR are facing now, it feels like. Top lane's always pushed in, bot lane Alliance are kind of happy to, give away a kill or 2 here or there just to make sure that there aren't multiple lanes coming into the base. But that blue line drawn by Nyx really is indicative of what HR want to do. They know that they're ahead, they know that they can force Alliance back. But I think more importantly, HR need to take a fight on Alliance's side of the map, in front of their tier 3s, A, if they win, they can go and break high ground, but B, if they lose a team fight, Alliance can push really quickly themselves. Like, if Alliance find a way to win a team fight here, they could break high ground themselves just immediately.
They have a ton of minus armor and a ton of damage if they can win a team fight. Spell Prism dropped for Alliance. They really don't have the hero to hold it.
They will smoke. Alliance making that first step. Limp TA. Plenty of traps around.
3 charges on
Acronyms.
Demonic Purge, yeah. It's also a break against Timbersaw, undispellable. Same goes for Razor.
Jump the Morphling. He gets his BKB and attribute shift off, down to half HP. He does waveform away. And he tries to Adaptive Strike stun into the Soulbind, catching the 2 heroes there, Wraith King and Beastmaster, but with the Astral Step and Ether Remnant coming in from Roger. He's blown up as he jumps in deeper. Gem dropped down on the ground. Nico Baby focusing now onto this Phonic Timbersaw. He's got Inkswell on him, but the BKB from Nico Baby keeps him standing strong and tall. He's got that reincarnation to pop. S4, what have you got left? No Raw, no Necro units. So TA, a lot of the work now on her plate, but they focus down Nico Baby, dead for 90 seconds with buyback. But Alliance, they've got nothing left in the tank. Hellraisers not reliant on those long cooldown teamfight ultis, the reincarnation and primal roar. Once they're down, Alliance don't have that much.
That's Lankensphere keeping Morphling alive. They can't... Oh, he gets Illusion Escape. That's the best item you can get from tier 4 items on Morphling. Just the bait concept of it is so strong, and it's also extra agility and strength, which you need. Like, problem is Alliance needs to blink in and break the Lankensphere on Morph, so it gives him a little bit of time to see something's happening and use attribute shift.
And now they've got that chance. Mid lane, top lane, both reaching the high ground. Looks like they want to try and force the buyback from the Wraith King at the very least. TA Havoc Hammer,
Tower is under attack.
not the best.
Dire's
Trying to clear out that bottom wave as the glyph from Alliance. Multi-shot tower. Trying to deal with a shove from HR, but the tower has already fallen and Morphling so quickly demolishing these buildings. Ice Path, Chain Stun, Phonic down. Trading your Timbersaw for a melee barracks. Still seems pretty good for Hellraisers as long as the Morphling can escape. He TP's home, everybody's out of there. And Phonic still has buyback if they need to defend Roshan, which is going to spawn in 2 minutes.
Roar, he gets it.
Finds Mimposhka.
Life fade from memory.
Spell Prism now for the Radiant team.
Who do you give it to? Like, you don't... I mean, you might give it to
Timber kinda wants
Razor,
to-
just lower the cooldown of the abilities of the items. Like Black King Bar, Satanic, Heaven's Halberd.
Probably feels a little bit better than Flicker.
Morphling
see
decides
what they
to
plan
keep
to
that
do.
one.
Alrighty then. Let's see if he's got the mana pool to sustain all those abilities. Alliance, about to lose FNG. Jakiro removed from the game as Nico Baby jumps the Razor, forces the BKB, but Kasani just static links up, turns to fight. In comes Morphling, but a good blink away from S4. They've left the Shadow Demon all alone. And again, we're in a situation now where Alliance have 3 cores alive, but with no supports. They don't have any team fight.
Roche will respawn in 50 seconds. Now it's time to go mid, try to take a tower. Looking through the buybacks, Morphling does not have a buyback. He bought everything. Satanic, I don't think you killed this Morphling.
So in that case, you've got to still try and focus down this Razor. Miposhka, I think, still feels like the best target to go on. He is the be-all and end-all of these team fights for HR.
Dire's middle tower
Morphling.
is under attack.
Just waveforms casually onto your tier 3. 20 seconds for Shadow Demon.
Dire's middle
5
tower
for
has
Yojakiro as S4 shoves bottom with Necro units.
He attacks 4 times per second.
Oh,
fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
S4 gets out of the bottom
barracks
lane.
are under attack.
HR knowing that everyone now respawned for Alliance. With an advantage of 12,000 and pretty much a full lane top. Razor, Flicker, not going to get it off in time. Ice Path misses though. FNG doesn't get the chain stun. And now we're looking at a Lotus Orb up on the Razor as he backs himself into the Roche pit, scouting out that the big man's alive. Does need some heal here for the Razor.
He might
Still
just pop
sitting at
G
half
straight
HP.
away. Yeah, he does.
He does indeed. Now in we go. S4. The Soulbind with the Adaptive Strike. The Beastmaster's about to fall. Doesn't even get his roar off. Down you go. One by one. Alliance fall. They do buy back on both of the heroes as now the focus on the Shadow Demon. Hanskin tries to get the Demonic Purge out. The roar onto the Morphling. Does catch him out. But Nyx, he's so tanky with his BKB up. Doesn't give a damn. The turnaround onto the Timbersaw now as the Ice Path Macroplier tickles the Timbersaw. Oh, he doesn't feel a thing. Focusing onto the Nico Baby Wraith King, they'll take his first life and retreat back to high ground. No reason to stick around as Alliance have all brought back. Morphling dies. They do get the kill. The final Ice Path and the stuns from Alliance get that massive takedown. The buyback from Nyx will come through as they want to secure the Roshan though. Alliance in a 5v4. They, for the first time this game, have the numbers advantage.
They used 2 buybacks on both Morphling and Razor. They need to kill this Roche very fast. Hawk's already scouting things out. Void Spirit, no buyback on him. He does not have, needs 150 gold. And Beastmaster's putting the pressure on the bottom lane. He has Boots of Travel ready in 10 seconds. Tough situation. Like, if Nyx dies, Alliance is going to win this game. They can run down mid with all this minus armor.
Timbersaw has to deal with the bottom
Double
lane.
damage. Who gets it?
The TA. That's huge for Alliance. Trap up onto the high ground, scouts the Morphling. Nico Baby, he's just going to walk up there. No blink, he's silenced up, killing off Phantom Brace, but TA jumps in onto the Morphling. The quick Soulbind though, the 2 cores being caught out. The Adaptive Strike takes down Hanskin nearly. No, he can disrupt himself. The Ghost Scepter still there as they focus Limp and take the TA out. Wraith King's first life down as he reincarnates and blinks forward. Looking for the Razor or the Timber, but the chain to the high ground.
They need to save Morphling.
The Morphling, very low HP.
Spirit Vessel.
Dead for 2 minutes. The TA brought back, so now Alliance have Roshan for themselves. The Void Spirit's being picked up as well. Alliance with the comeback.
I think this is game, Gary. They're gonna kill Roche and just go mid. There's no Morphling for 2 minutes. This Demonic Purge is ripping through him, plus a Spirit Vessel. I think he used multiple charges of it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Void Spirit's gonna have to buy back here as well. The 2
90
lives of Nico
seconds.
Baby.
Like, you have enough time. You killed tier 2 tower fast. You bait a glyph. Just go for tier 3 and then try to end the game.
You have Necrobook on Beastmaster. You've got double roar with the Refresher Shard. Not only can you kill towers, but you can probably pick off the remaining heroes of Hellraisers here as well. Funnick, gotta be so careful with his positioning. Void Spirit does buy back. Tier 3 back to a regeneration kicks in, but here come the
60
catapults.
seconds,
The
that's long.
roar is there. Funnick chain stunned with the Ice Path. Xani trying to handle Nico Baby and S4, but they've taken down Imposhka. Gets a Soulbind off as his dying move. In comes the Void Spirit now as Nico Baby's first life gone. The Refresher Shard used. Razor caught up, but Inkspell BKB turn and fight. They need to battle, but Kasani loses his life. So much damage from the TA. Hellraisers lose out on the Razor the Timber, dead for 2 minutes, and that is
That's game. There's nothing they can do about it anymore. Go for tier 4 towers, Orb of Destruction. Nyx just calls it. Yep. As
GG and DC.
we predicted, like, it's all it takes. Alliance, they have a lot of nuke damage. Limp Man on this Templar Assassin. Once she hits level 25, the Meld Bash, you need to be careful. And there's no real save. Like, Morphling needs to take care of himself. They needed 1 extra ability to kill Shadow Demon in that fight. Like, he went full force on him, used everything, 2 waveform charges, Adaptive Strike, plus a shotgun. And it was not enough. He just needed someone else to finish him off. And if he lived there, it's a different game. Like, Shadow Demon doesn't use the Demonic Purge on him. He gets away, is not slowed down.
I honestly can't believe it. What a comeback from Alliance. Hellraisers had that game for so long.